Hi everyone, I'm Saria. I performed the speedrun you're about to see, and I'll do my best to walk you through everything that's happening. Let's try to complete River City Ransom EX without taking any damage. This game is more forgiving overall than the original River City Ransom for the NES, but it's still very difficult to get through the entire game without getting hit a single time, and it's another story entirely to try to do it as quickly and cleanly as possible. That's what I'm trying to do here. Just like when speedrunning this game normally, you have to rely on a lot of luck. Many enemy groups, or gangs, in this game have a lot of endurance and take many hits to dispatch, so in order to complete this game quickly, you have to rely on the weaker gangs, which go down in one hit, to appear the first time you enter any room where you're required to fight people to progress the game. Bottomless pits are another way to take out enemies immediately, so goodbye, Moose. That counts as a boss victory in this game. You saw me face the frat boys in that room. Aside from the last gang member, all of them only took one hit each to knock out, so that's one of the gangs we'd be happy to see anytime. In fact, the next place we have to fight in order to progress the game, the warehouse, has only two gangs that can appear, the mob and the frat boys. The mob are one of the highest endurance gangs in this difficulty mode, and unfortunately they are by far the most likely to appear in the warehouse, so this is the first point of extreme luck that we have to face in this game in order to beat it quickly. Thankfully, the frat boys are here, first try, so now I can just focus on fighting them as cleanly as I can. I'll go into more detail about that later, but for now, suffice it to say, this game has so many fighting mechanics, and a lot of the simplest ones are the most efficient, so you'll see me trying to apply those as precisely as possible. Also, Rocco just fell through the wall and died. Don't worry about it, it'll be okay. Now this, right here, is the biggest difference between a damageless run and a regular speedrun of this game. Normally, we would have jumped into that pit in order to death warp back to where we need to fight the next required boss. But, unfortunately, dying is technically taking damage, so let's not do that. Let's just run all the way back instead. Coming up is the blade fight, which normally is an example of quick kills in this game on enemies that take many hits to dispatch. If you attack an enemy who was falling at a very precise time, instead of hitting the ground, you'll catch them back on their feet, and you'll deal way more damage than you would have if they had hit the ground. This can defeat enemies way more quickly. Unfortunately, I miss it in this blade fight because it's so precise, and also there's a bit of luck involved with when he recovers in mid-air, and I simply didn't have time to hit that precise timing window. But I got the backup fight, and it's still quite fast. Now, while we're running all the way back to where we were to move forward to the next bosses, let's talk a bit more about my general fighting strategies during the big group fights. This involves a lot of spawning manipulation. I wait on one side of the screen, collecting coins to spawn in the next people, and the game spawns them on the other side of the screen. If you wait the right amount of time, then they'll all be together when you go to the other side, and you can take them out in one sweeping dash attack. It also helps to be able to throw weapons while you're waiting, so you can already be KOing people while you're having to wait. The generic dudes are agreeably fragile, and you'll see me starting out the fight doing everything I just said, but then one guy just hangs out in the corner going for a crate, and now the spawning manipulation is completely messed up for the rest of the fight. I have to keep running back and forth between the corners of a big room to get all the coins. It's still okay, but not what I want. But at the end there, you saw two huge weapon throws. Those were fully charged dash jumping weapon throws. They're the most powerful regular attack you have in your arsenal. I used them against the last regular enemy, who is a stamina specialist, which means he takes more hits usually, and then I also used it to start the boss fight. It's very precise to be able to release the throw at the right time so it actually hits people, but once you master it, it's incredibly useful. There it is again to start the Mojo fight, and then a flying kick to get settled into this dragon kicking sequence. Alex, or Kunio, starts out with the dragon kick technique, and it's just a good, simple, effective way to deal damage. It's actually faster to defeat Turk and Mojo with just fully charged dash jumping weapon throws, but it's not very consistent because you have to hope that weapons are lying around in the right place. Now we buy the pump sneaks, very important. This increases our running speed a bit, but also dramatically increases the power of our dragon kicks and our dashing attacks, which is crucial to complete the rest of the game much more quickly. It removes so many extra rounds of hits on endgame gang members and bosses. The next place we have to fight is the factory. Unfortunately, the worst gang in the entire game to fight, the locals, are likely to appear here. We get lucky this time, and we get to face the jocks instead, who are a little bit weird as well, but at least we can take them out in one hit usually. Whenever that doesn't happen, I have to do some adaptation and quick improvisation, and that doesn't go great at the end of this fight. I pick up the stamina specialist and try to use him as a weapon against Pretty Face Guy, and then I'm kind of in an awkward situation. I don't really have time to throw him him into the pit because he'd recover out of my arms, and so I take the slow and safe route and just try and whittle him down. And then the Thor fight. There's a pit there. Goodbye, Thor. I actually could have done that faster, and that would have prevented him from recovering in midair as he was falling in, but this run isn't perfect. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something clean and, most importantly, damageless. What we're not looking for here is the homeboys. They take forever to get to you, they take a billion hits to KO, and we're just gonna give up on them and reset the room, get the internationals instead, who go down way faster. They are the most likely gang to appear here, so we got a little unlucky, but we got there in the end, and now it's time for the Ivan fight, the most precise quick kill that I've developed that will be seen in this speedrun. I positioned myself exactly as he was laying on the ground so that at a specific time when he was getting up, I could do a dragon kick and all 4 hits would connect. Then as he was falling, I waited for that very specific frame window to catch him on his feet and deal a lot more damage than usual. Not only does this complete the fight quicker, but it allows you to stay in complete control of a boss that is usually very keen to get away and ruin everything. And now, after that sloppy platforming in the gym, it's time for the final group fight. This is hard to control, not just because you're facing an endgame gang, but because the room is gigantic and spawning manipulation can be squirrely. I'm doing a lot of regular jumping, fully charged weapon throws to take them out before they have a chance to get into weird situations. The final enemy, the stamina specialist, takes so many hits. Dude, where are you going? Get the coin! Oh, there's the worst mistake of the run. Dragon twins. We're just gonna dragon kick them a lot, fittingly. The hardest part of this is the positioning as you're walking them toward the wall. You have to make sure you're in the right place to hit both of them and then not pick them up. This entire fight is way more dangerous than it looks, and they can even do invincible recovery attacks as they're falling to completely get out of this sequence, but they didn't, and now it's time for the final showdown against Slick. Can he stay in our reality long enough to cause damage? Damage me. We did it! That is River City Ransom EX, damageless, in 6 minutes and 55 seconds. What else is there to say? Except thank you. I really hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope that my commentary could be entertaining, possibly informative, and maybe even a little bit refreshing, like anti-damage, because we are living lives that cause us to sustain damage. And we need... This is nice music. Do you come here often? None of this was actually scripted. I just sort of recorded clips as I went. Now there's nothing left to explain, so... I've run this game before. The world record that I have in regular lowest difficulty, any percent, is actually one of the best speedruns I've ever done. So I'll provide links for you to find that run in the description of this video. It's highlighted on my Twitch channel where I streamed it live, and it's also at the end of another video on this channel already called River City Ransom EX Speedruns, The Hunt for a Clean Run. I've been meaning to take that run and put it in a video by itself with text commentary for 2.5 years. I'm neurodivergent. I try so hard, and then breathing is like, yes, I did that. I did that. Oh. Do you, like, are you okay with this? Do you, like, far gone from you liking and subscribing. Thank you if you do that, but, like, do you need, like, post-serious song trauma help services? I am a lot. I don't know if those services exist. I hope that they never have to. By God, I hope they don't. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.